And yo, what's going on, man? Welcome into the ChrisBeCappinn Show. Today is March the 27th. Happy Thursday morning, my ladies and gentlemen. We have a pretty big card on the board for today, so with no further ado, we're just going to jump right into it for today. Quick recap, we'll talk about JaXon, jump into the games for today. So just one play for me yesterday, which was the Clippers. A little shaky at the beginning of the game. Come on, Clippers, get it together. But they do win pretty comfortably last night. Only thing that I played, the short list went bananas yesterday, and I was gun shy yesterday. I didn't pull the trigger on a lot of those things. Maybe 5-1, 4-1. I think 5-1, no, something like that. So yeah, hopefully the show was helpful for your handicap and you guys made some money yesterday. We'll go through a couple comments, but it is a pretty big card, so we're gonna jump into it. Prolific says, good morning, Chris. Celtics don't need Mr. Tatum. Celtics absolutely mollywop the Phoenix Suns last night. Showed them there's levels to it, man. It's definitely levels. G. Harris says, LeBron, stop fighting with Stephen A. Smith long enough to close it out with the game winner. Glad to have switched to Pacers plus 1.5 instead of money line. Shout out to G. Harris. We talked about Pacers plus 1.5 yesterday. Now, if I would have played Pacers plus 1.5 yesterday, the Lakers would have either won by 4 or, it would have been a way for me to not be as happy as I am this morning watching the Lakers win the game last night and that Pacers plus 1.5 cash for people who did play it, because that's what I would have played as well. Chabby Funks, let's keep the momentum rolling. Absolutely. Chad says Clippers in Boston, locks of the day. No such thing as a lock, Chad. I know you're new to this community. No such thing as a lock, my brother. Tasha says, good morning, everyone. Yes, Chris, you and Malik tried to remind me of my own saying about betting against Boston. I should have listened to y'all. Yeah, it's your saying, Tasha. It's your saying, man. Chad says, OKC is my favorite pick tonight. We'll talk about that game. Barrio says, Chris, take the Bulls today. It's the only way that the Lakers can get a win nowadays is when you bet against them. No. Don't get it twisted. I wanted the Lakers to win the game, which is why I stayed off. And both would have been perfect last night if I had played that game last night. Brown would have probably missed the tip-in, though, or something like that. Let's see. What up, Justin? Appreciate you for tapping in. What else we talking about? Brian, good morning, bro. Says didn't get that first quarter, but we got the game. Still have to clean up defensive breakdowns in the game. Let's get it tonight. It's all good in LA. I like it. Let's see. Tom, new person in the chat, says I only bet Luka points. Lakers are unpredictable. Tom also likes Kobe White. Says it's a game time decision. Yeah, I did see that. What up, Swish? Appreciate you for tapping in as always. Good morning, Mark. What up, Smeezy? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, Adam. The usual's in here. 929. Dama says, good morning, Chris. What up, 929? Joseph's first time watching you live. You're helping me with my confidence level on these sketchy games. Much appreciate you this morning. Appreciate that, Joe. Appreciate that for sure. Let's jump into it. What up, Bitsy? What up, Tariq? My guys in here. Says Lakers won me money last night, but the Pacers was the better team. Both LA teams won me money yesterday. Like to hear that. He says, Chris, what it do, bro? Is the Lakers night again, or you messing with my side of town? We're going to talk about it. Let's jump into it, matter of fact. Let's go. All right, so JaXon up first. As we always talk about, JaXon is your AI sports betting handicapping tool, partner, homie, whatever you want to call it. So I asked JaXon this morning I can't remember what JaXon was on yesterday. JaXon, like James Harden over his 34.5. I always do like to give a recap, and I didn't bet on James Harden, so I'm not sure what he got. But let's see. James Harden over his 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. James Harden cashed it. 29, 6, and 6 last night for James Harden. So he did cash that. JaXon gave out a winner. And then I'm not sure if I talked about another play. Oh, it's the over. The Lakers and Pacers over it, JaXon like as well, and that was a winner also. So it looks like a 2-0 night for JaXon yesterday. As far as today, JaXon likes Najee Marshall. This is a play that JaXon cashed with 2 nights ago when they were playing against the Brooklyn Nets. JaXon likes Najee Marshall over his points plus assists. 22.5 minus 102 on FanDuel. He's hit it in 9 of his last 10 games, averaging 28 combined points and assists. Magic do rank number 1 against Najee Marshall's position versus defense, but it's a pretty tough matchup. And in recent form, they're expecting them to exceed this line. His season long hit rate is on 30%, but his recent games, of course, with all the Dallas Mavericks being out, he's gone up and over the number. JaXon also likes, I asked for 2 player props today. JaXon likes Paolo Banchero up and over his 3-point prop, which is interesting. Over 1.5 3-pointers made for Paolo Banchero. Says he's hit 9 of his last 10 games, averaging 2.5 threes during that time. The Mavs are 6th against Paolo Banchero's position, a moderately challenging matchup. He's hit this number. He cashed the 2 threes or more in 56.4% of his games this season, averaging 1.97. So that's what JaXon likes today as far as player props go. Let's see. As far as totals, I want to give you guys a total. JaXon likes the over between the Pacers and the Wizards as well, 234.5. I thought the number was higher than that. No, it is 234.5. So JaXon likes over 235.5 as well. I'm missing the best of a number. Number is moving that I want to get to, but that's all good. Says both teams rank top 10 in pace over the last 10 games, with the Pacers at 3rd, the Wizards at 8th. The fast tempo creates more scoring opportunities. The Pacers are 6th in offensive efficiency. The Wizards are 10th, ensuring consistent scoring on both sides. Defensively, both teams have struggled. The Pacers are 25th, and the Wizards are 27th in defensive efficiency over the last 10 games. The Wizards' perimeter defense has been a significant weakness, ranking 28th in opponent 3-point percentage. This aligns with the Pacers' ability to score from deep, led by their guards. The Pacers' interior defense has been inconsistent, allowing the Wizards' big men to dominate in the paint. So yeah, JaXon likes over between the Wizards and the Pacers tonight. It also likes Najee Marshall of his points and plus rebounds. Points plus assists for Najee Marshall, 22.5, and then Paolo Banchero over his 3-point prop as well. So that's what JaXon likes. Let's jump into it for today. First up, we got this Mavs and Magic game. This is the line that's actually moving. I really wanted to be there on the Mavs. The only reason I didn't play it was because of the injury report. This line was like 7 last night when I first saw it, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I know Orlando has been hooping. It actually touched 8 yesterday, and then it started coming down. Now it's all the way down to 6, and I do think the Mavs are the right side in this game. We look at the injury report first, as we always do, and this is the only thing that kind of kept me off of it was the injury report. So starting on the Dallas side of things, Anthony Davis said that he was going to play in that last game, and the market, I think, is betting on Anthony Davis playing in this game. He is listed as questionable, though. I thought he was going to be more listed as probable because he said that he was going to play after they beat the Brooklyn Nets a couple nights ago. So that held me up a little bit because we know AD can have setbacks and not play, and I don't like Dallas as much if he doesn't play. Cole Anthony on the other side is listed as doubtful, but more so on the Dallas side, going back to the Dallas side, PJ Washington is out. That's big in my opinion. Brandon Williams and Caleb Martin are both listed as questionable in this game as well. So you got some injuries on the Dallas side of things. If you do like Dallas, you want those guys to play. I'm expecting them to play. Like, Dallas got a chance here to, if we just look at where the dust is falling and settling at, especially with Phoenix losing last night, Dallas actually got a chance to take back position to that 10th spot, I think, right? Let's see. Yeah, if they win tonight, they'll jump Phoenix because they'll have 36 wins. So, I mean, that's a humongous part of the handicap, in my opinion. All right, so let's jump into what I got in my notes. Orlando, if you like them, let's just stay on Dallas because I'm already talking about Dallas. So this is Orlando's 3rd game in 4 nights, all with travel. Don't like that as much for Orlando. They have played 7 of their last 10 games on the road as well. So they've been traveling all over the place outside of their last 3 games. Dallas defense should be able to slow down Orlando's offense with AD back in the rotation is what I wrote because I'm thinking that AD is going to play. Orlando takes a lot of mid-range shots, and Dallas mid-range defense is not that bad at all. Orlando also doesn't push pace, and Dallas is great in transition defense. Dallas isn't a great 3-point defense at all. But Orlando, we know that they have not shot the 3-point shot well, of course. A little bit better, slightly improved over the last few games, but they're not a great 3-point shooting team. Dallas offensively, top 10 offensive rated team last 5 games, 8th in offensive rating. Top 10 offensive rated team on the season, 8th in offensive rating last 5 games. They also have the 2nd highest effective field goal percentage, and they're scoring a lot of points in the paint and at the rim. So that's if you like the Dallas side of things, which I think Dallas can keep this game close. If not, potentially win this outright if everybody gets ruled in. If you like Orlando, you like that Dallas hasn't been profitable on the road. They're only 16-9-2 against the number on the road. Orlando has been hot recently. They're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5, 7-3 against the spread in their last 10. This is third game in 4 nights for Dallas. Only some minimal travel, though, because both of their games were in New York. This will also be Dallas's 10th straight game in a different arena. So they've been traveling all over the place as well, just like the Orlando Magic. Orlando is a top 10 rated offensive team for the first time. I'm pretty sure the whole season. I'm going to say that one more time. Orlando, a top 10 offensive rated team. They got an offensive rating of 120 in their last 10 games. So as we talk about the total in this game, to me, it's an over game. I know it's a super low total, 218.5. Orlando Magic games has particularly gone under throughout the full season, but their offense is looking good, man. They've actually played, I just said, top 10 offensive rated team. Orlando also, playing fast and, top 10 rated offensive team as well. Dallas has played 9 straight overs. They're 19-6 to the over as road dogs this season. 6 straight overs against as road dogs in this spot. Orlando 7-3 to the over in their last 10 games, including 4 straight overs for the Magics. And it's only been 57 minutes with Anthony Davis on the floor. In those 2 games, Dallas has an offensive rating of 127 and an offensive rating without Anthony Davis on the floor of just 115. And Dallas is also second in pace in the last 5 games. So these low totals in Magic games, I think that the overs are the way to go. Doesn't seem like the market is quite caught up to the Orlando Magic's offense as of late. So my recommendations for the game, I haven't bet anything. I haven't even placed a bet today, but my recommendations for the game is Dallas plus the points as long as AD plays. And I look towards the over 218.5, whether AD plays or not. This is going up. I do see it all the way up to 219 now. So a little bit of money came in on Dallas, a little bit of money came in on the over, and I agree with both. I would agree with the market here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. We'll move over to the next. Let's see. Got you, Chase. Says hindsight, bro. Hindsight. Not everything is literal, homie. I don't even know what we was talking about, but I don't know. I don't know what we was talking about. Trey says, what it do, Chris? Oh, we talked about this already. Adam says hit a 5-legger player prop and a 4-leg against the spread. Okay, let us see that. What up, Drill? See, appreciate you for tapping in. Antonio says, good morning, Lake Show. Time to double down and run it back. Revenge game incoming. They about to smack the Bulls. Okay. Mark says he likes over. Adam says he likes over. He says defense optional. Dallas games over in like 10 straight. Yeah, it's been 9 straight for sure. What up, Jay, man? Appreciate you for tapping in. Good morning, B. Felton. User, good morning. What up, Daph? My guy says I just uploaded my video. We wearing a similar cap. Great getting on stream with you on the Sauce Network yesterday. Shout out to the whole Sauce family. Shout out to Dad for joining us on Cal's show yesterday. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. User says he cashed yesterday on that over in the Celtics game. Love to hear that. Dom says the way I embarrassed myself in the airport when Braun tipped that rebound and shaking my head, my wife was so ashamed. He likes the Magic to get up and over 112.5 here. Tariq says leaning Orlando first half. Orlando first quarter, leaning first half. Market is caught up to Orlando. Dom says hasn't caught up. Yeah, and I agree. I do agree. I think it's over. Man. Drill says he likes Franz over. Couldn't talk you off of that. Brian says Magic first quarter at home has been money. I just feel like we don't have a big enough sample size. This is why I'm not playing first quarter. I feel like we don't have a big enough sample size with AD in. I just told y'all he plays 57 minutes so far with this team. And Dallas has looked really good in the 57 minutes that he's been on the floor. Remember, in that first game he played was against Houston. They smoked Houston in that spot too. Dash says get on Kai Jones if you can find him. My man hustles. Is hustling right now. He's playing really, really hard. Trying to get a contract, I think, Dash. I would agree with that. J-Man says take Black under his 12.5 points. Spencer Dinwiddie over his points and assists. Okay. All right. We did a pretty good job here. My recommendations are Dallas plus the points, even though the line has come down. And the over. You still can get a 218.5 right now in a couple books. That's the way that I'm playing this one. And I don't think it really matters if AD plays or not, in my opinion, as far as the total goes. I don't like the Mavs as much if AD doesn't play, but I think he's going to play. I definitely think he's going to play, especially given the situational spot. All right, next one up, Pacers and the Wizards. So this line opened 10.5 yesterday afternoon, and I think the total was about 238. Yeah, I think it was 238. It's come all the way down to 234.5 now. It's a terrible spot here. I feel kind of indifferent about this game. Both teams are playing unrested, of course. Both teams on the second leg of back-to-back games. The difference between the two, though, is the Pacers have been at the crib. Like, they played a lot of games at home, and now they do have to catch a flight, of course, to DC. I think they'll be motivated off the loss last night. The Wizards have played a bunch of games, and they've pretty much been everywhere. It's more of a terrible spot for the Wizards. This is 5th game in 7 nights for the Wizards as well. We know that they have not been good anywhere. 11-15 against the spread. I know that they did win last night against Philly, but I mean, it's Philly. They played 8 of their last 10 games on the road, had to travel for at least 10 straight games. So it's a terrible spot for the Wizards here, in my opinion. The question is, can you lay 11.5 with the Pacers? I don't really want to do that. The Pacers have not been covering on the road, and we'll talk about that in just a second. If you like the Pacers, let me give you some reasons to like the Pacers. The Wizards are 1-11 straight up, 3-7 against the spread on the second leg of back-to-back games. They went into last night's game on a 5-game. The Pacers went into last night's game on a 5-game winning streak. They have won 7 of their last 10. Washington is losing by an average of 18.5 points when they're playing unrested. The last 2 losses came by 19 to the Knicks and by 20 to the Pistons in their 2 most recent games playing unrested. If Washington is facing an unrested team, if Washington is an unrested team and they're facing an unrested team, they're 0-4 straight up and against the spread this season. They're losing those games all by 14 points and by an average of 21 points this season. They're taking a ton of threes, of course. They're not making any of them, except last night, of course, against the Philadelphia 76ers defense. The Pacers defense has been pretty good against the three-point line. Long as Jordan Poole and Alex Sarr don't get too hot, I do think the Wizards are going to struggle to score here. Washington runs a lot. We know that they like to get out and push the ball in transition. The Pacers defense is above average in transition defense as well. Indiana should be able to score in the mid-range. Washington's defense has not been too effective there. We'll see who ends up playing in this game. Of course, both teams on the second leg of back-to-back. The injury reports could be submitted late. The Wizards did rule out Brogdon, who could potentially return. Chris Middleton didn't play yesterday. Keyshawn George could play. Marcus Smart could potentially play. So we'll see how the injury report goes. If you like the Wizards, there are a couple things to like for the Wizards as well. The Pacers went into last night's game just 2-8 against the number. They did cover last night, depending on what number you got. They did cover the late line, the +1.5. So you could say that they're 3-8 against the spread in their last 10. The Pacers are just 2-10 against the spread playing unrested this season. So it's not a team you want to lay too many points with. They're also not great against the spread as a road favorite. 5-13 against the number, 0-7 against the spread are the Wizards in their last 7 games as a road favorite. So they have not been covering these numbers. They're also 0-4 if they're playing unrested as a road favorite. And if Washington, plays Middleton and some of the other guys, because they didn't play last night, and I was thinking that the Pacers potentially win a tight one where they exert a lot of energy. I could see, maybe a potential for Washington to cover. I'm not betting Washington, though. As far as the total goes, I wrote in my notes the Pacers are 4-1 to the over when playing unrested and having to travel. Those games are averaging 244 points. They're also 5-3 to the over if they're unrested as a road. In road games in general, those totals are averaging 231 points. So below today's total. The Washington offense, though, is pretty piss poor. We talked about this. I've been saying it for a while. They're the worst offensive rated team in the NBA playing unrested. They only average 102 points per game. They average 102 points per game, but a 100 offensive rating. This is not a team you want to be betting on the second leg of a back-to-back. In their last 5 games, they've scored, and just as overall, their last 5 games outside of last night's game against the Philadelphia 76ers, it's not a real NBA team. They've scored 104 to the Raptors, 103 to the 103 to the Knicks, 105 to Orlando, 112 to Utah, and 97 to the Portland Trail Blazers. So I guess I do agree with the total coming down with it being up so high at 238. Pacers should be able to score. Maybe just the Pacers team total up and over. Not sure how serious they're going to take this game. The Wizards offense is 20, even with last night's game, they're a 27th rated offense. They got a 104.3 offensive rating. I think that they are going to struggle to score the basketball. Let's see what the thought processes are here for this one. Justin says he's going to add Orlando over after the show. Brian says Wizards first quarter, possibly the game plus 11. Dom says Wizards plus 11 is a lean. Pacers expended a lot of energy last night. Game is backward, honestly. Yeah, I agree. I love it since Holly assists, copy and paste. He has been going bananas. I'm not sure what the line is. Matter of fact, let's go look at Holly real quick. I know he's been an absolute cash cow. We talked about it on the show. JaXon has given it out. I know Daft talked about it yesterday on Cal's show. So let's transition over to Outlier really quickly and look at Mr. Halliburton. So this is Outlier for people that are new to the show. You can see here, there's a link in the description, get a 7-day free trial. So Halliburton, assist prop. Yeah, absolute money. I mean, they have moved the line up, right? It's 10.5 now, minus 110. You may be able to find a juice minus 9.5, a 9.5, but I mean, it's the Wizards defense. You can see that he's hit the 10 in 10 straight games. I want to say it's even more than that. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 straight games, he's had at least 10 assists, only landed on the hook 3 of those games. And he gets the Wizards defense, man. I don't got to tell y'all too much more. You can see that they're 24th in assists allowed against the point guard position, bottom 10 as well. The minutes should be there. As long as he plays, you know, Holly has been missing some games. I'm expecting him to play, though. So couldn't talk anybody off of Mr. Halliburton today. I think it could be a good spot to back him here against a terrible defense that plays super fast pace. So couldn't talk anybody off looking at Tyrese Halliburton over his assist prop. I think you got a good one. I love us. Adam says sharps all over the under here, 97% of the money. What do you think, Chris? I think the Wizards could struggle to score. I just mentioned the way that they score is typically by threes and by transition. The Pacers defense are good at both. I'm just not sure how much the Pacers are going to care about this game. Yesterday was an ESPN game, and they cared a lot about that game. They exerted a lot of energy in that game, especially being down and having to come back. So that would be my hesitation. But yeah, if I'm betting against the Wizards offense, I think so. Yeah. Justin says too much baseball for me to cap this game. I'm back with it. LJ says both these are worse on back-to-back. Two, back with it as well. I tell 3 plays in a row. 3 plays, 3 days in a row, Red says. Hope you've been cashing them. Okay. Holly over his points plus assists for Finn. J-Man says Sar under 17.5. 0-8 on his points over on the back-to-back this season. I'll take a shot on that. Okay, I can see that. Yeah, Sar struggling here. Dom says Pacers 1-10 win margin, maybe. Couldn't talk you off of that. Pacers are pissed. Do they care enough to cover? Pacers team total over for Tariq. I think, yeah, I could see that too. Could definitely see that. Chad says Wizards are Pacers. You said Wizards are 0-7 ATS on the road. I don't think I said 0-7 on the road, did I? Don't think I said that. Yeah, that's not. I said Indiana is 0-7 against the spread as a road favorite in their last 7 games. They're 5-13 on the road. Let's see. All right, we spending too much time on this game. They real likes that Holly double. Couldn't talk you off of that. Jeremy says Holly passed like Steve Nash. Okay. All right, let's cool. Let's go to the next one. We got to move a little bit faster. Spurs and Cavs. I really was trying to get a 15 yesterday. It's actually moving back up to 15 now. It looks like, well, not 15, but 14. I handicapped this game before the Jared Allen news, and then Fanatics locked it up so quick, but I was going to send out that plus 15. It actually came all the way down to, it looks like 13.5 is the number now. But this opened last night at 12.5, and it's still getting pushed back to 13. So I just took a loss with the San Antonio Spurs. I'm not sure if I want to run it back here. We go look at the injury report real quick. Everybody should be in for San Antonio outside of Bassie, who hasn't been playing. The Cleveland Cavaliers are resting Evan Mobley. Ty Jerome is listed as questionable as well. So they could be down a couple rotational, a rotational piece and a starter, a big starter. So in my opinion, I'm going to just be quick on this one. In my opinion, this game's going to come down to San Antonio's ability to make three-point shots. Their last 5 games, they are shooting the 10th most threes at the 5th highest percentage. They couldn't throw a rock in the ocean against the Detroit Pistons the other day and got blew out as a result of it. If their threes are going in, they can keep the game close. Cleveland's three-point defense is actually in the bottom 5 in both opponent frequency and accuracy in their last 5 games. Cleveland's also given up the most offensive rebounds in their last 5 games. And you think about Evan Mobley not being there, it's probably going to be even more offensive rebounds that they're going to give up. San Antonio is actually 10th in offensive rebound rate in their last 5 games. So there are some things that point to San Antonio in this game. And I'll talk about why I didn't make the bet. But if you like San Antonio, outside of those couple things, you do like that this is the first game back home for Cleveland after a 5-game road trip. Cleveland has been traveling everywhere. They played 8 of their last 10 games on the road. And for Cleveland, it's the first leg of a back-to-back. They got the Pistons tomorrow. Game is actually in Detroit as well. So that's a terrible spot for the Cleveland Cavaliers tomorrow. Cleveland, they're still shooting a lot of their shots either in the paint or from the three-point line. But they're not shooting it well. Only 32.8% from 3 in their last 5 games, good for 28th in the NBA. San Antonio's three-point defense hasn't been that bad in their last 5 games, but it has been pretty bad on the full season. So I'm not sure. Cleveland also going to run a lot of pick and roll. San Antonio's pick and roll defense is terrible. But when you look at, just totality of the last 5 games, Cleveland is a plus 2.1 in efficiency differential. It's hard to lay 13.5 points with a team that's a plus 2.1 in efficiency differential. The problem here is, and the reason why I didn't play it is because San Antonio, we talked about this in the last game versus Detroit. They were playing they were 28th in strength of schedule in their last 5 games. They are 26th in strength of schedule in their last 5 games now. So they have been playing a lot of cupcakes, a lot of soft teams. Cleveland has actually played the 12th strongest strength of schedule. I still would probably lean towards San Antonio and take the points, but they just burned me the other day. So I think I'm going to stay off of this one. If you like Cleveland, you do like that the San Antonio Spurs are just 13-21 against the spread on the road. Cleveland also been one of the more profitable teams at home. A lot of that came early in the season, of course. They're 20-14-1 against the number. Cleveland did beat San Antonio down in San Antonio. They beat them by 16 on February the 3rd. It's 10.5 point favorite, so they won and covered. The totals between these two teams are 8-2 to the over in the last 10 games. I think that's the way I would play it. I know it's up from 236 to 238.5. I'll probably be looking towards the over and probably towards San Antonio to be able to score. Even though the last game did go under 231.5 pretty easily. I think without Evan Mobley there, it's a lot less defense. San Antonio should get some offensive rebounds, be able to score. Should be able to knock down some three-point shots. I do expect this game to be played with pace, even though Cleveland has been playing a little bit slower. Interestingly enough, they're 22nd in pace over the last 5 games. Cavs are top 10 pace for the full season. And San Antonio also 17th in pace. I'm expecting this one to be played faster, for points to be scored, and I would be taking the points before I'm laying the points here. Quick thoughts on that game. Let's see what you guys are thinking. I love us says Garland's about to cook. Could see it. What up, TC Bats? He says, what up, Chris? Good to bounce back. Catch a live show. Good to be back. Catch a live show. Busy day ahead with baseball coming back. Yeah, I got some baseball picks for y'all too if y'all stay around for opening day today. I'm just kidding. I don't got a single baseball. I don't even know who's playing. Yeah, but I will be handicapping some WNBA when the season starts. What up, Easy Money Poppy says, what it do, Chris? Appreciate you, Mark, for joining as a member, my guy. Mark, make sure that membership is the ChrisBeCappinn Community membership, though. There is a supporter tier where it's really just like supporting the show. But there's also the premium, I guess you could say. Not much of a premium at all, but the premium is the one that gets all my plays when I send them out to the members. Sloan under points, over full game. Yeah, no baseball for me, man. No baseball for me. Chris Paul announced retirement. Spurs are done. Cavs team total over. He announced retirement, Tariq? I mean, it makes sense. Damn, I didn't see that. I missed that if that's true, Tariq. Anyway, let's go to the next game. Try to be productive, man. Hawks and the Heat. This is one that made my hair hurt when I was trying to handicap it yesterday. I'm looking at the game. I'm looking at the game, and there's so many conflicting things going back and forth. Also, if you've been following this program, you know that I've been betting I've been betting against the Heat, has not been profitable for me in their last couple games. I don't bet the Heat games because I think that they have a chance to bounce back. They go out there, they playing basketball with a sleep mask on, not even looking at the rim, can't make a shot. Defense looks terrible. I bet against the Heat. Bam starts banking in 3-pointers that are meaningless, and they go 70% from the 3-point line against the Golden State Warriors in their last game. So I already kind of feel like, you know what? Like, I think I'm gonna stay away from this one, especially with the spread being so low. It's indicative of, you know, what's going to be a pretty tight game. We go through the injury report. There are a couple guys that matter. Trae Young, he is going to play, I think, listed as probable. Clint Capella is out again. And then Duncan Robinson has been upgraded to questionable. Alex Burks, I think, has been downgraded to questionable. And Jovic continues to remain out. So a couple things you like here for Atlanta, if you do like Atlanta. They have been profitable on the road. They're 19-16 against the number on the road, 16-10 against the spread as a road dog, and 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. They did get a backdoor cover against the Houston Rockets a couple nights ago. Atlanta has actually won 2 out of 3 matchups this season against the Miami Heat. They've covered 2 out of 3 spreads. Miami won the most recent game, though, in blowout fashion. Atlanta is also 7-3, both straight up and against the spread in their last 10 games. They've been playing some really good basketball. They've covered 4 in a row. They've dominated the boards. If you like the boards, if you like the Atlanta Hawks, you like that they've been dominated the boards. Offensively, they are 8th in their last 5 games. Miami is allowing the 2nd most offensive rebounds. Even though they've been playing some pretty good basketball, Atlanta should be able to dominate the boards in this matchup. If you like the Miami Heat, you like that they have been slightly profitable at home. 19-17 against the number. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games. They covered 4 in a row, actually. And this is their 5th straight home game. So they have not had to travel at all. You look at where Atlanta has been scoring in basketball. They're taking a bunch of corner threes. They're 4th in frequency, 7th in accuracy in their last 5 games. Top 10 on the season in both of those as well. Miami is a top 5 defense against the corner 3-point shot. Frequency, accuracy, all that. Matter of fact, last 5 games, they're actually number 1 in opponent 3-point accuracy. So a lot of where Atlanta likes to shoot the ball from shouldn't happen today. Atlanta could also have some trouble taking care of the basketball. They are 16th in turnover rate. Miami's forcing the 4th most turnovers in the last 5 games. Atlanta likes to get out and run a lot. Miami's number 3 on the season in opponent transition frequency. They do not allow you to get out and run. And Miami has played the strongest strength of schedule in the last 5 games. So there's some things to like for both sides. As far as the total, I do think it's hard to play it under in a Miami Heat game, in an Atlanta Hawks game. Their defense is just piss poor at times. Their offense really just looking to score the basketball. But I do think it's a little bit more of an under spot than the over. Atlanta is 5th in offensive efficiency last 5 games, playing at the 6th fastest pace against the 7th easiest strength of schedule. The Miami Heat, the way that they're playing, they are, you know, a little bit better of a team. Their offense could struggle in this spot. Just gave you guys some reasons why. Miami's playing at the 3rd slowest pace in the league in the last 5 games, 3rd slowest pace on the full season. Miami, they're a team that likes to attack the paint. 2nd highest in frequency in the last 5 games. And Atlanta is top 5 in paint defense, both frequency and accuracy. So that's the one thing that they have done well. Same thing for the mid-range. Miami takes a lot of mid-range shots, and I do think that Atlanta defensively are going to be able to slow them down from the mid-range. So I say all that to say, I guess I lean under. Maybe Atlanta team total under. This spread opened, I think, at 2. It's come down to 1.5 now, so money is coming in on Atlanta. It's probably not a game I'm betting. I don't want to be sweating this out, man. I do think it's an under spot if I had to bet anything here, though. Let's see what, and I don't want to lay points. That's another thing I mentioned. I don't really want to lay points with the Miami Heat. Now that they're favorites, they probably end up dropping the ball. So that's the way I'm looking in this one, towards the under. Then I guess if I'm not even gonna give you guys a thought on the side because I really have no idea. Let's see. Can't do no baseball, Angelo. I used to cap baseball. It's funny enough. I don't got enough time for a story time with Chris, but I'll give you guys a story about how I got limited on Hard Rock one of these days, and it was because of baseball. Shout out to my guy RC. Shout out to Prop Guy. I got some baseball guys that taught me how to cap baseball. I've made a lot of money capping baseball a couple years ago. It's just too time consuming. I don't got time for it. I'm on the Hawks. Adam says Miami put everything into the Golden State game. Justin likes the plus 105 for Miami as well. Brian says Miami first half. Atlanta plus 1.5. Going to fade Miami second half. I think they slide back. That's what we've seen recently. We have seen that recently. Mark going opposite. Atlanta -2. Heat letdown spot. Shooter McGregor. Oh, no. He likes Miami -2. So you can get a +2, I think is what he means. Yeah, +2. Okay. Yeah, okay. So a lot of Atlanta love here. Tariq says, I like the way the Heat been playing. Hero threes as well. Shaping up to be a backwood, Charles says. Charles, I feel like every game was backwood for you, bro, but I can't talk you off, man. Nothing wrong with backwood in most of these games, having a couple plays. Quinn says Khalil Ware up and over his points. What up? Brian says Bulls +3.5. I think that's the next game we're going to talk about. Onyeka Okongwu 3-point prop, -115. He's been shooting them. JaXon says, okay. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Modi too. All right, let's go to the next one. We got Memphis and OKC. So this line was at 10. It started to move to 10.5. I woke up. I was about to play it. Actually, this was the play that I was going to send out last night. I didn't pull a trigger. I went through and kind of reading the beat reporters' comments and stuff. And I just honestly, I feel like OKC could rest somebody here, potentially like a Chet Holmgren. Just reading some of the comments from Mark Daigneault. He's not going to risk it. It's about 10 games left. OKC has really nothing to play for. Can they win the game by double digits? Yes. Do I think that they're going to? Probably so. Memphis does have triple in-season revenge. They've been getting smoked by the Thunder, not just recently, but just in general. They've been owned. This is if the Grizzlies have a daddy, if there's a big grizzly bear, it's whatever the Thunder mascot is the daddy of the Grizzlies. They've owned this team. And they play really well at home. 23-10 against the number ATS at the crib. They're 9-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Memphis is just 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. They did get a big win against the Utah Jazz. They had a few days off before that game. So not that they won't be motivated, but there's no Ja Morant in this game. Jalen Williams has also been upgraded to questionable on the OKC side after not playing in the last handful of games. Wiggins is out, and then Cason Wallace is also listed as questionable. The only thing I wrote in my notes that for Memphis is they're 19-16-1 against the spread on the road. That's all I think about when I think about liking the Memphis Grizzlies. They got a slightly profitable ATS record on the road. But OKC right now, is you bet on them or just kind of stay off of them? They swept the season series. They won 8 in a row against Memphis. They've covered all 3 this season as well. And it's their defense. Like, one of the things that's on the short list for me today is the team total under for the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm just not sure who's going to play. I think the number could go up if Chet Holmgren does get ruled out. And let me be clear, Chet is not even on the injury report. I'm just reading through the comments from Mark Daigneault like, all right, if he ends up being listed as questionable midday, we just saw this on Sunday when they were playing against the Clippers. He wasn't on the injury report by the time we did the show in the morning, listed as questionable midday, gets ruled out later in the day. And you got to watch stuff like that, man, because of course their defense is not as great without Chet on the floor. But this Grizzlies team total right now is 114.5. And if you just go through and look at the Oklahoma City Thunder last 10 games, they're not giving up 115 points. They're not giving up 115 points to pretty much anybody. And there's a couple other things I want to mention as well. So just going back and looking at it real quick, the last 10 games for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They just gave up 105 to the Kings, 101 to the Clippers, 106 to the Charlotte Hornets, 100 to the Philadelphia 76ers, 105 to the Milwaukee Bucks, 107 to the Detroit Pistons, 112 to the Boston Celtics. Like, outside of that Denver game where Denver shot like 70% from the three-point line, teams are not sniffing 114 points. So the totals between these two teams are 8-1-1 to the under in the last 10, 2-0-1 to the under this season. OKC has held 6 straight opponents under 108 points. Just kind of gave you guys the rest of that number. And the Memphis team total specifically, it just doesn't add up in my opinion. OKC does not give up points in transition. Memphis runs a lot. They score a lot. They rely a lot on scoring in transition. More than any other team in the NBA, OKC limits teams to the second fewest transition opportunities. They're also top 5 on the season. I think number 2 on the full season as far as opponent transition points. That's why Memphis struggles to score, in my opinion. Memphis has gone under their team total in all 3 games against OKC this season. They scored 106 points in the first game. They lost by 24. I think that game they were down a couple players. They scored 112 in the second game. They lost that game by 13. And they scored 103 in the third game. They lost that game by 17. So OKC minus the 10, minus the 9.5. Potentially a Memphis team total under, I think, are the right sides. Memphis has stayed under their team total by at least 7 points in all 3 games, averaging just 107 in the 3 matchups against OKC this season. So that's my thought process on this one. Speed it up and go a little bit quicker here. Makes sense, Charles. Makes sense, bro. I wasn't poking a hole at all. Adam says, what a disrespectful line. They're begging for Memphis money. I'm on the under. Not one game has gone over the total. Could see it. Thunder whooping feet. I love it, says. LJ says, if you have been betting OKC against the spread outside their division, you've been killing the books. Blunt says, I got Thunder in a dog walk. They might win by 20. Bane is playing as far as I know, Jeremy. Mark says, Ski says, can't spell Thunder without the under. That team total under. 77 figures is OKC, a.k.a. Bank of America, minus 9.5. Light work. I like that. OKC, a.k.a. Bank of America. I don't like Bank of America, though. I'm a Wells Fargo guy myself, but LJ says Memphis Road Dogs go over 15-2 to the over, LJ. That's the only reason I didn't pull the trigger, man. And I was thinking OKC team total over whatever that. I think that number is like 124.5, but they could win this game 122 to 104, something like that too. So I didn't bet it, but you are right. 15-2 to the over as Road Dogs, I think, are the Memphis Grizzlies this season. All right, Thunder first quarter for Bryant. Memphis has too many turnovers. I think Thunder shut them down the stretch. Okay. OKC first quarter, Tariq says, I hit it last game against the Kings, running it back. Excuse me. Dom says Memphis team total under. I think regardless of who plays, Thunder will always show up defensively. Okay. Corey says Bane and Aldama had a scuffle on the bench against the Jazz. Team chemistry is off. I didn't see that, Corey. Appreciate you. I will be looking into that. Appreciate you for sharing that. Dom says Thunder first half spread, maybe. Thunder 8-2 against the spread last 10 in the first half. Memphis 3-7 in that same time span. I definitely see that as well. Thunder team total. Memphis team total under. I'll probably end up playing this one late just to make sure I don't get a late number. Some manipulation of the injury report in this one. But it's definitely Memphis team total under or Thunder minus the points in this game. Not gonna think too hard about it. Now we get over to the game of the. No, I'm just kidding. It's not the game of the day. My Lakers are in Chicago today on the second leg of a back-to-back, getting playing 3.5 points against the Chicago Bulls, the red hot Chicago Bulls. This line is moving as we speak down to 3, and the total is coming down from 239 down to 237.5. Put my hood up. It's a little chilly in here, man. All right. So what we got here? We got Lakers, of course, on the second leg of a back-to-back. I'm gonna get to my notes. They're pretty short, and then I'll give you guys a play that I'm looking at that I like the most. So Lakers are 7-4 straight up in against the spread, playing unrested. If you like them, big win that could potentially build some confidence and kind of propel into the next day if you like that kind of angle. Chicago's first game back home after a 6-game road trip, typically a flat spot. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. It's really all I got. We talked about this game the other day. I said the Lakers like to shoot a lot of threes. The Bulls' three-point defense is really good. The Lakers on the second leg of a back-to-back. Not sure if everybody's going to even be available in this game. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I don't want to lay the points with the Lakers here. Chicago is 15-18-1. I'm sorry, the Lakers are 15-18-1 on the road this season before last night's game. So don't really like that as much either. If you like the Lakers, that's more of a Chicago look. The Lakers are also 6-9 against the spread, laying points on the road. So as a road favorite, they haven't been profitable this season. We just talked about that in the Orlando game. Chicago has been slightly profitable at home, just 18-17 against the number. Chicago went on that road trip, that 6-game road trip. They covered every single game. Every single game. I'm mad I didn't pull the trigger a little bit more. I got to come off that Bulls free diet. They've covered 10 straight games in a row if you got that early number against the Phoenix Suns. 10 straight games in a row is what they've covered. I think they can cover this one. I didn't bet it. I think if I want to bet here, I want the Lakers early. I think Lakers first quarter makes the most sense, depending on who actually gets ruled in. The Lakers are the best first quarter ATS team, 43-29 against the spread on the full season. Second best, 43-29 against the spread in the first quarter on the full season. They're 6-4 against the spread in their last 10 games, 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 on the road in the first quarter. And more than that, you just lost to this team by 30. You guys smoked, flat out embarrassed on your own home court less than a week ago. I think they're going to remember that. And if you like them, maybe they run out of gas late. I do think the Lakers early are the best play. The Bulls also, I just mentioned this, but it's their first game back after a 6-game road trip. That's typically a super flat spot. And we'll talk about a flat spot in one of the next games that we're going to talk about as well. So I like Lakers early here. I do think that they can win, potentially early. We'll see who actually plays, where, how much the line actually comes down, maybe be able to get a -1. I do think that, just getting embarrassed like that, they're gonna come out and respond early in this game. Let's see what you all are thinking about this one. LJ says, is Luka threes still at 3.5? Because the books are gonna raise it eventually to 4+ threes. Eventually 4+ threes in 10 out of his last 12 games. Yeah, he's been money, LJ. He's taken a lot of them too. Mark says he played small play on the Bulls plus 3.5. Lover says Lakers need that get back. They do. I'm not sure if they're going to get it, though. The Bulls are hooping right now. Adam says, interesting game here. I'm on the Lake show with the revenge angle, but just the money line. Not laying points, also the under. Justin says, Lakers got me last night, not giving it back. Got him paid last night, not giving it back. Brian says, and he's a Laker fan, says, lean in Chicago plus 3.5. To be honest, my mind says Lakers trifecta. No bet for me. Brian talked about this game in his post-game interview. I love it, says Bulls to cover, she says. Actually like the Lakers early here too, she says. Malik says D Rose throwing the first pitch for the White Sox today. It's a good day for Chicago. Bulls money line for me. I'm not battling with you today, Malik. You gonna have it, my brother. Dom says, like the Lakers first quarter, they started slow at Indy, so I can see the coaching staff making it a priority to come out strong. Only way I'm looking. Only thing that even popped into my mind when I'm handicapping this game is Lakers first quarter. Only thing. Just because he's not on the injury report right now, J-Man, don't mean he can't pop on. We got to be honest with ourselves here. Luka, like somebody. I need everybody in if I like the Lakers. They just had everybody in. Got steamrolled in that last game. So, yeah. Helping Hand says, quick thought, Chris. OKC to win all 4 quarters, 1,900. What you think? I always think about those bets, and it's always like one quarter that they lose by 5 because they won the other one by 20, and they don't care. So I don't like it as much. But don't let me talk you off. That's just my thought process. What up, Peasy? User says Lakers winning this coming a win and big revenge game. Giddy triple-double. So there are some injuries too. I forgot to mention those. Who was it? Giddy is questionable, and Vucevic is also listed as questionable here. They probably play. It's the Lakers. Everybody play against the Lakers. Red says, I almost bet Lakers first quarter, but my spider senses was tingling. Pause. Yeah, yesterday wasn't a good play, but I think you can get back on the Lakers early today. That would be my thought process. Rockets and Jazz, this line is also on the move. It's moved from 12 to 12.5 to 13 now. I do think the Rockets are the right side. I know that they haven't been covering. The Jazz are just an atrocious basketball team that they're probably more ready to look to baseball season than you guys are. And I know that they don't have a major league team, but they're probably ready to look towards anything that's not playing basketball. They suck. Not a professional team at all. And they've already ruled out a couple guys that do move the needle. No Laurie Marketing. It's terrible what they do, man. No Jordan Clarkson. Steven Adams is also on the injury report, and Amin Thompson are also on the injury report as well. Reed Shepherd continues to be out. I think Houston can win this game. It is a revenge game for Houston. They were playing on the second leg of a back-to-back early this season when Utah lost the game outright. They lost the game by 9 as a 7.5 point favorite back on February the 27th. They were laying 7.5 points in that spot. But they've been good on the road, 20-13-1 against the spread on the road. Utah just 1-5 against the number in their last 5 games. Utah also has lost 3 straight games by 20 points or more like 30 points or more, but one of them was 20 points. Houston does play a big game against Phoenix on Sunday. Then they got the Lakers on Monday. So more meaningful games, but they got some time in between. with this game being on Thursday. So it's Houston or nothing for me. I didn't lay the 13, but I do think they're the right side. If you like the Jazz, which I'm praying for you if you like the Jazz, but they have covered 5 of their last 6 spreads in the head-to-head meeting for whatever reason. They play well against Houston. Houston is just 1-4 against the number in their last 5 games. So that's some reasons, I guess, to like Houston. As far as the total, I wrote down over the total. The over is 7-3 between the two teams in the last 10 meetings. Earlier meeting did go over by 10.5 points. Houston is 6-3 and 1 to the over in their last 10 games, including 5-1 and 1 to the over in their last 7. But even more so, maybe just like continue to look towards the Utah team total under. We just talked about this the other day. It was the reason why I played the Utah and Memphis game under. Their offense is it's like the Washington Wizards offense. They haven't scored more than 104 points, but in one of their last 6 games, they scored 103 to Memphis with 2 days of rest. They scored 91 to Cleveland, 99 to Boston, 97 to Chicago, and 102 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. So if Houston comes in here and wants to play defense, they could absolutely lock this Utah Jazz team up. Their team total right now, the Utah Jazz team total is listed at 107.5 on ESPN, on Bet365, and 106.5 on everywhere else. I may even go ahead and bet that because I don't think it's going to go up. And everybody else got a 106.5. So strong lean towards the Utah. I'm probably going to be on it. Utah team total under 107.5. Probably going to be an official play for me. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. We'll move to the last one. Tariq says Luka points for me. They should come out with some urgency, Bryant. Some urgency, man. Going back to that Lakers game. James says, plus, Chris, the Bulls been on fire since you picked them. I hate the Bulls, and I've just been riding them money line ever since. Well, you made a lot of money. Shout out to you. I love it, says he likes the Rockets. LJ says Rockets first quarter on the road. Sky Rockets in flight, afternoon delight, Adam says. Chad says somebody in the chat earlier said Kobe White is doubtful or not. Now, he's not doubtful. He's probable, Chad. I did see that. He is listed as probable, so I didn't even put it in my notes. Dom says Utah, Houston first half under for him. Okay. Could see that. Yeah, don't sound like a lot of people got thoughts on this one. Move over to the last one, Blazers and Kings. So we got injury report. There is Kamara on the injury report for the Portland side of things. He is truly listed as questionable with some left foot discomfort, soreness. Jeremy Grant is listed as game time decision. No Aiden and no Robert Williams. On the Sacramento Kings side of things, Malik Monk is also listed as questionable, and then LaRavia is also listed as questionable. Monk is questionable with an illness. I'm not sure what's going on with him. And then LaRavia is also listed as questionable with a thumb injury. So those guys listed as questionable. There, I was doing some reading. There is some turmoil inside the Sacramento Kings locker room. There's some, some conflict. I don't want to bet on Sacramento. They have not been doing well as of late. Just 2-8 straight up in their last 10 games. They are kind of fighting for the last play-in spot. They're down there with the Dallas Mavericks and the Phoenix Suns. 2-8 straight up, 3-7 against the spread. It is a 4th game in 6 nights as well. They all have been at home, so I guess that's pretty favorable. In San Antonio, the Sacramento Kings are just 12-23-2 against the spread at home. Portland has been more profitable on the road than Sacramento has been at home. 19-15-1 against the number. Portland 10-5 straight up and against the spread, facing an opponent they've already beaten this season. They have already beaten Portland, the Sacramento team. I'm sorry. Portland also coming off back-to-back losses where they did play a very strong strength of schedule. They played against the 2 best teams in the Eastern Conference, lost by 11 to Cleveland, by 13 to the Boston Celtics. So strength of schedule for both teams has actually been strong. The Sacramento Kings have actually played the strongest strength of schedule, and Portland's played the 6th strongest strength of schedule. If you like Portland, I just gave you some reasons to like them. If you like Sacramento, you do like for Portland that this is the first game after a 7-game homestand. That's typically a super flat spot for Portland, but they have lost a couple games in a row. So I think Portland will be motivated in this spot. Could be a little bit of an adjustment period for Portland. Would be, playing 7 straight games at home. So as far as that early first quarter look, I talked about this with the Lakers and the Bulls. Teams that this season that are coming off a 7-game homestand, and then they're getting outscored. Well, teams that are playing their first road game after 7 straight home games are getting outscored in the first quarter by an average of 4.5 points. So potential Sacramento early spot here. If you like, Sacramento to bounce back. Both of these teams have been pretty poor as of late. Both have played a strong strength of schedule. I'm just not laying points for Sacramento. I do see the line moving up to 6. It would only be Portland for me. That's the only way that I could play it. If you like Sacramento, last thing I'll mention, if you like Sacramento, you do like that, like I said, 7 straight home game for Sacramento. And while they have been getting killed, they have lost 4 straight. They and haven't covered any of the numbers. They have been, like I said, against some really strong teams. They lost to OKC, got smoked. They lost to Boston, got smoked. Milwaukee, Chicago, and Cleveland. So they have played a really strong strength of schedule. Sacramento has played 3 straight unders. All 3 matchups of the season between these 2 teams have stayed under the totals of 231, 225.5, and 230. And this one, of course, is lower than all 3 of those. So maybe a look towards the under as well. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be off of this game. It would be a lean towards Sacramento plus the points, though, is the way that I'm looking here. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one. Not messing with Sabonis. Adam says, always on my Blazers and Denny over his points, rebounds, and assists. So let me talk you off. Justin says he likes the over, close to moving on it. LJ says he likes clinging to get a double-double. Mark says Sacramento favorite, I think. Look at the graphics. Oh, my fault. Yeah, you're right. My fault. I'm glad you caught that. Just trying to get the graphics and everything done before the show. Moving a little bit too fast. They definitely favorite. The Portland Trail Blazers, they can't be laying points on the road. Not as bad as they've been playing. So shout out to Mark for catching that. I did mix that up. So it's not plus 5.5. They're laying 5. Actually, they're laying 6 now. The consensus is now 6 based on the odds screen that I'm looking at. And the total has come down to 225.5. I talked about liking the under. So yeah, it's plus points or it's under for me in this game. J-Man says DeRozan over his points. Levine 3-point prop. JFX says, Chris, you got first quarter bets like old boy from Kerms. Nah, I don't got any first quarter bets. Just first quarter ATS is what I'm looking at. Let's see. Probably so, Don. Probably so. Not great at all. I actually retweeted something this morning. It's not good in Sacramento right now, man. Not good in Sacramento. Brian says Portland plus 5.5. Not laying points for Sacramento, especially after a Thunder beatdown. Tariq says pass, and I think that's what I'll do as well. So let's jump into a quick recap before we depart. Let's see. So going back through the games, I wrote Houston team total over. I do think they're going to be able to score at will in that game. So let's just go through it. So Dallas, the Orlando Magic game is moving back to 7. I like Dallas plus the points. So plus 7. We'll see if AD plays or not. I do like Dallas and Orlando up and over as well. Over, you still can get 218.5. That's whether he plays or not. I do like that game up and over. Whether AD plays or not. Indy, Washington, I think I would be looking at Indy team total over. What's that number? I don't want to play the spread in that game, but I do think they can score 124 points. So over 124, 123.5 is the total. And I will wait on the injury report to figure out who's going to play in that game, though. I did mention Washington is playing 5th game in 7 nights. So if they ran out of gas and don't get to 112 points, that wouldn't surprise me. You can get that team total under 111.5 tonight on a couple different books right now. Continuing on, next game, San Antonio, Cleveland. It would be a look towards San Antonio. I know the line is continuing to move against them, but San Antonio plus the 14.5, I think would be my recommendation in that game. Also like it up and over at 238.5. And actually, I like the over more than I like San Antonio. So San Antonio, Cleveland over 238.5 would be my recommendation there. Atlanta, Miami, slight lean towards the under 220. It looks like 228, but the total is still going up. So maybe wait on that number. I just think defensively, both of those teams match up really, really well with each other and are going to be able to limit the other team a little bit. So I do think that that's the right look in that game. Memphis and OKC is Memphis team total under 114.5. I think was the number. And then it's also OKC minus I think you can get 9.5. Or maybe the 9.5s are gone. So we'll just go minus 10 if I'm playing that game. And then a lot of things I'm liking. I'm not playing all of these, just FYI. I know most of y'all know that already, but Lakers first quarter. Not even sure if that line is out. Let's see what I do. Lakers first quarter. What is the first quarter ATS number? Probably get a better number if you wait throughout the day. And it does matter who plays in that game. But you can get the Lakers actually minus 0.5 point right now. So minus 0.5 point. Do think that they're going to play strong early in that game. What else we got? Houston, Utah. It's Houston minus the 13. Utah's not even rebounding the basketball anymore. So minus the 13, minus the 12.5 if you can get that. Look towards their team total up and over. And then the last game is Sacramento. Plus the points for me and nothing at all. I don't really, as much as I felt some spots, I don't feel extremely confident on today's card, which is why I didn't make a play. I felt like the lines were pretty sharp when I looked at the numbers last night, which is why I didn't play anything early. But these are the ways that I'm kind of looking at the games today. Yeah, these are the ways that I'm looking at the games today. Hopefully it was helpful, man. Hopefully it was helpful. I'll have maybe a play or 2 or 3. We'll see how the injury news shakes out throughout the day. But whatever it is that you're betting, I wish you the best of luck. Check the resources out if you are interested in ways that I'm, like resources that I'm using to handicap the games. All the links are in the description of the video so you can save yourself some coin. Best of luck on whatever it is that you're betting today, man. We will be back tomorrow for a 7-game slate tomorrow. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-game slate tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck on your action today, man. Enjoy your Thursday. I'm out.